pleasure to come your way once again. Today I'm going to talk about spitting up, or what is also called regurgitation. I'm talking about it because I get this question a lot. I have parents, especially the new ones, the first time moms, come into the consulting room and they worry because their babies are spitting up. So, first of all, let's talk about spitting up and let's differentiate it from vomiting. Spitting up is when a baby brings up small amounts of breast milk or formula. We want you to exclusively breastfeed anyway, but we know that some babies are on formula. So spitting up is when the baby brings up small amounts of breast milk after a feed. The quantity is very small, from a teaspoon to a tablespoon usually. It's not a lot. And it comes out very soon after a feed. It usually comes when you have burped your baby or when you are burping your baby. So when you are burping, it's important that you put a handkerchief or a small napkin on your shoulder so that your baby doesn't mess you up, because sometimes it can look very nasty, especially when you're in public and then you don't have anything to cover it with or to change into. So that is spitting up or regurgitation. And then it doesn't shoot far away. So your baby is on you and spits up. It just falls on the baby or on you. It doesn't go far away. But when it comes to vomiting, the quantities are usually much larger than spitting up. And then it can happen even when your baby has not fed. Or it can happen so many minutes after a feed, 30 minutes, an hour after a feed, then your baby vomits. And then when the food comes out, usually it looks like breast milk that has changed. It doesn't look just like breast milk. Whereas spitting up, it looks like breast milk. In vomiting, you see that it has changed. It's curdled, or sometimes there even if there isn't even really food in it, that is vomiting. And then it moves far away. The baby vomits with some force. Whereas spitting up, there is usually no force or very little force, and then it stays with you and the baby. So there is a difference between spitting up and vomiting. When your baby is vomiting, usually you find that the baby is not well. Maybe that baby is hot or has a temperature or is irritable, crying more, or is inactive, not feeding. Then your baby is vomiting, and then there are other things happening as well. But spitting up, your baby is perfectly healthy. Your baby is growing well, doesn't have a temperature, and is just bringing up small amounts of food. So you should not worry about spitting up. Spitting up happens because the muscle that is at the top of the stomach or the entrance of the stomach, I don't know which one explains it better for you, is not well developed in babies yet. So it's supposed to close when food goes into the stomach and then open up a bit when the baby is eating so that food goes into the stomach. But it's not well developed. So sometimes, even after the baby has fed, it still opens or relaxes and then it allows small bits of food to come up. So it's not anything that you should worry about. It corrects with age as your baby grows. But what are the things that make spitting up more likely? Apart from the fact that I've said that the sphincter at the entrance of the stomach sometimes just relaxes because of development, the baby's young age. There are certain things that can make spitting up more likely. So when babies swallow a lot of air, they are more likely to spit up. That is why sometimes you find that they are burping and then they spit up. But if you don't burp them, they will spit up more. Yeah. So when babies swallow a lot of air, then they are more likely to spit up. So how do you take care that the babies don't swallow a lot of air? And when you're breastfeeding, you need to make sure that the attachment to the breast and the positioning of the baby to the breast, they are all right. And we have some videos on it. I'll put the links in the comment section so you can check them out. How to attach your baby to the breast or position your baby well, so you can check those ones out. And see what you can do for your baby. So when your baby is feeding and then you are hearing a lot of nom, 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 the baby is swallowing a lot of air, and that makes spitting up more likely to occur. Also, if of course if you don't burp your baby after a feed, if you are formula feeding and you don't pay attention to how you do it, the babies also swallow more air. First of all, when you prepare the formula, if it is powdered formula, you should let it settle so that there isn't bubbles on top. Otherwise, the baby swallows the bubbles and that is air. And then you should pay attention to the size of the hole in the bottle or the nipple. If the hole is too large, the baby will swallow a lot of air. If the hole is too small as well and the baby is struggling to get the food into the mouth, the same thing will happen. So you should watch your baby. See, when your baby is bottle feeding, is your baby struggling so much? Then you know that the hole is not appropriate. Some bottles have what is called the anticolic valve. There's a hole at the top where the nipple is for air to escape. Other bottles don't have it. And then when you turn the bottle and you're feeding your baby, make sure that the whole nipple area is filled with formula so that there isn't space for air to move into your baby's stomach. So that as well you can pay attention to. And if you are feeding your baby, whether you are breastfeeding or formula feeding, it's always a good idea to have the baby's head inclined a bit above the stomach so that air finds space to move up. I mean, when you're breastfeeding, sometimes in the night you lie down and you feed. That's perfectly fine. So, I mean, night feeds and but throughout the day, you shouldn't feed your baby throughout the day in a lying down position. You should incline your baby a little so that the head comes up and it makes it easy for the gas to come out. And then when you don't exercise your baby as well, they have a lot of air in their digestive system. So babies, when we are talking about exercise, first we are talking about tummy time. Tummy time is the time that a baby who is happy, well fed, everything is fine, spends lying on the tummy. When you do that, there's some movement involved as well, and then it helps the gas or the air to escape. The other thing you can do is to put your baby at the back. Baby is happy, and then you just move the legs in a bicycle motion. You are playing, nothing serious. Don't do it so aggressive and it hurts your baby and baby is crying. Nothing serious. You just move the feet about a bit in a bicycle motion. It helps the gas to escape. Or you can put the baby on your lap and then you just bounce them up a bit, like you are playing again. You can do this while you're singing to the baby or while it lets it look like play, and then it helps the gas to escape as well. So that is the difference between spitting up and vomiting. But if you are worried, you should definitely seek a doctor's opinion. If you are worried because the spitting up, the volumes are large, or you think that feeding upsets your baby's tummy, because there are some babies that have some food intolerances and feeding will upset their tummy. They spit up more. And those babies, you find that they are not growing well. They may be the same ones passing some blood in their toilet as well. So if you are worried, make sure that you let a doctor see. So that is spitting up versus vomiting. You don't need to worry about spitting up. Your baby is spitting up, but your baby is also growing very well. Definitely you are worried. Let your baby be seen in hospital. What is your experience with these things? Regurgitation or spitting up versus vomiting? Let us know in the comment section. And if you have questions as well, we are very happy to take them. Thank you for watching. Bye.